YouTube family, Shannon Sharpe is in a world of big trouble right now, and a lot has been transpiring and going on. And we know about this accuser, Gabby, who's been accusing Shannon Sharpe of salacious situations with bedroom actions. She said Shannon Sharpe grape juiced her several times. Now, the accuser attorney is the same attorney who tried to blackball Jay-Z, Deshaun Watson, and several other celebrities who just so happen to be melanated folks. And we're going to break all this down with videos, receipts, and proof. I need you guys to smash that like button, hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching another episode of I Smoke Hip Hop Live. I'm not dropping any intros today. We got to get to the bottom of this. Shannon Sharpe has been in a lot of situations revealing this. So if you guys don't know, Shannon Sharpe responded to all these accusations, and this is what he had to say.
This is to my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues. I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
Now, with that response by Shannon Sharpe, a lot of people were thrilled that he stood on top of it. He got to it because Shannon did what a lot of innocent men should do in that situation. Too much times we see several dudes who get accused of this, and a lot of them do happen to be innocent, but because of public backlash, they get scared to talk about it, to defend themselves. So they try to look for settlements. But we got to talk about that settlement because it appears that there was a $10 million situation, which they're accusing Shannon Sharpe of trying to lower the situation down with a $10 million settlement. Now, Davis told reporters during the virtual press conference that Shannon Sharpe had been willing to pay the woman at least 30 years younger than him at least $10 million to settle the lawsuit, but she instead opted to take advantage of a very lucrative contract for Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay Shay podcast that was recently reported on. Now, was that contract is a $100 million deal that Shannon Sharpe got with the Volume Podcast Network. His continuous contract is about to expire, and it's said, rumored to believe, he has a over $100 million offer that's at the table right now. But because of this, we know it's gone. But just the fact that Tony, the lawyer, put out this right here. On one hand, Mr. Sharpe and his lawyers claim that the case filed by Jan Doe is meritless. Yet on the other hand, they now have disclosed that Mr. Sharpe offered Jan Doe $10 million in writing not to file her lawsuit. That is a true statement. Jan Doe was in fact offered $10 million to settle, but rejected the offer, choosing instead to proceed with litigation. Sharpe's team is now trying to discredit and dox her. Sharpe and his team are now, as anticipated, also attacking me. We are not going to deter by these tactics. Now, if you guys don't know what's going on, Shannon Sharpe is suing this guy, this lawyer, this bloodthirsty seeking lawyer for defamation. He's also accusing the young woman, Gabby, who is her right here, of defamation. Now, Gabby, I don't know about her history at all, but the young woman is said to be 19 years old or 20 years old, and she's an employee of OnlyFans network platform, whatever you guys want to think that she does. But That's what they're saying about Gabby. Now, let's go furthermore into this $10 million situation. Now, that is the bombshell of everything, because for Shannon Sharpe to sit down on a $10 million offer to her, it's like, bro, how are you innocent and you're offering $10 million? That's a lot. Now, she said no to it, allegedly, and wants the $50 million because it's more lucrative. Now, why I look at this as it could be Shannon Sharpe's legal team said give her the $10 million to go away because it could potentially damage the $100 million contract, but I wouldn't give her a dime. So that's what is going on. Now, people are saying Shannon Sharpe, he dates these type of females too much. You know, I'm gonna just say it, the snow bunnies. And because the snow bunnies are doing what they're doing, they're saying Shannon Sharpe ran rampant with this. Now, I don't try to engage nor get into said so things like this because it could be damning in many ways. You know what I mean? Like when you start looking at who the person is dating and all that, it's like people then have a right to say, what does that have to do with the actual manners, you know, pertaining to it? So they went through his whole lengthy of history of being like this, his history of his who he prefers. People are saying that Shannon Sharpe loves talking about, you know, to protect the black woman, this and that, but he doesn't even date them to protect them. But I don't want to get into that because I do know his daughter is a melanated woman who he had, but I don't know with who. So I don't get into all that. But let's continue furthermore with this article and break it down.
I hope the world sees now what's really going on there, because it's getting ridiculous. It's really ridiculous.
It's really ridiculous right now. I can side with what DeMarcus Cousins had to say, but let's continue with this article. It says Shannon Sharpe, the host of popular sports and pop culture podcast Club Shay Shay, and a former NFL player, was sued by an ex-girlfriend who accused him of grape juice and bedroom action during a nearly 2-year relationship. The woman, who is described as being in her 20s, submitted the complaint anonymously on Sunday in Clarks County, Nevada court, and is seeking $50 million in damages. She says in a lawsuit that Mr. Sharpe, 56, grape juice her in her apartment October and January. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. A lot of things, like, I can't wait to give my opinion at the end of all these receipts, because the fact that she's been seeing Shannon Sharpe for 2 years and then now is accusing him of grape juice. I may not like Shannon Sharpe too much, but I do defend people who are in the right. And this lady doesn't seem like a woman who should be defended, but we'll be fair. All people should be defended, but so far it's not looking good for her case. Now, Article 2 says the lawsuit says that during the encounters, Mr. Sharpe forced upon the woman as she sobbed and begged for him to stop. Now, we're going to stop there and continue back to read it, but let's go to the statement and response of the woman, because there was a video and a recorded phone call that was released either by Shannon's team or the said so accusers team. And I'm going to prepare you guys for what you're about to hear. Let's go.
I say you're just gonna like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me, so I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
oh Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke the out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
I say you're just gonna like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me, so I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
oh Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke the out of you when I see you.
Jesus.
Thank you.
Jesus. I mean, look, two things I see in that video. I see a female who looks like she's somewhat playing and lying, because she's using keywords like "don't manipulate me" and all that, almost like she's only calling Shannon while recording this because the jig was already up. She's already trying to defame him. She's already trying to take advantage of him. And it looks like he's not smart enough to pay attention to it, except the manipulation word she used, because he's like, don't use that again. But the bad part about this video, whether you think she's lying or not, it's still concrete evidence that Shannon Sharpe said certain things, and it could potentially get him in trouble with the choking and all that. But if he has a good legal team, he could say, what's the full context to this audio? Because it's really 10 minutes long, and we've only heard a 44-second portion of it. So it's a lot of he say, she say. But if it goes to a jury trial in the new world of the Me Too movement, Shannon Sharpe is potentially in big trouble. Let's go back to Article 2. Now, it states here the lawyer also released graphic messages that he said were text messages between Shannon Sharpe and a woman that showed a consensual adult relationship, including role playing, bedroom action language, and fantasy scenarios explicitly requested by the woman whom he named. Now, there were more things released by Shannon Sharpe's counsel and representative, Lanny J. Davis. Now, they put this out. Let's look at it together. They put, and I'm going to let you guys read it. I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to scroll it up. You guys can pause and read it. Now, these are merits of truth that can somewhat potentially help Shannon Sharpe in his case against all this. I don't know if this either helps or hurt, but by him releasing this, to me, it furthermore shows and established that the said sole accuser really was in this situation with Shannon Sharpe, where he could legally and physically reach out and hurt her and accost her. Now, they released part 2 of it. Here's part 2 of the text messages dating all the way back to November 23, 2023. You know, it's damning. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know why they would release this unless they wanted to show that this was a string of incidents showing that it was consensual, which can somewhat help him. But the other things I'm reading into it with grape and all that, grape juice that is showing that Shannon is somewhat helping her. It's like his attorney doesn't seem professional enough, my personal opinion. The attorneys don't seem like they can properly defend Shannon Sharpe from this lawsuit. It's not a laughing matter, but it's turning into one. If we can all admit to that, it's turning into a laughing matter. Now, let's get back to Article 3 so you guys can pause it and see it. But in a lot of the things they put out there, this attorney is salacious, to say the least. He seems to be only fitted forward to go towards guys who look like me and Shannon Sharpe. He has a whole history of this. I mean, it's only certain names. I feel like the court system should have certain, proper guidelines on how you should behave. The bar should remove this attorney because he's a bloodthirsty vampire, even though we know majority of these attorneys are. But this guy, whole entire history is just nasty work. So it would behoove Shannon Sharpe attorney to make sure he highlights this to the said so jury that this attorney is not a good one. He goes out his way to do X, Y, and Z. But right now, I feel like people are not going to care for Shannon Sharpe. They're already trying to look at like it's over.
This is crazy, man.
You know what I'm saying? So let's go without further ado to his partner, because a lot of you guys are wondering, he works for Disney. So how is Mr. Boss, Mr. CEO, who seemed to be jealous of Shannon, Stephen A. Smith, would respond to this? So this was Stephen A. Smith's response to the whole fiasco.
Yesterday involving Shannon Sharpe, my colleague at ESPN, and my friend. The Hall of Fame tight end was sued on Sunday by a woman proceeding under the name Jane Doe pseudonym. The 13-page civil complaint filed in Nevada alleges that Sharpe committed assault, sexual assault, battery, and sexual battery. The Busby. This is the same attorney that filed a suit against Jay-Z and P. Diddy, alleging they both sexually assaulted a minor, which has since been withdrawn. It is filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations. Works on First Take, which airs on ESPN every weekday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. He's been with me every Monday and Tuesday, and he departed from Fox. I was more than happy to bring him on board here. So all I can speak about is what I know based on the reports, and I can speak about ESPN and Disney. And I'm sincerely hopeful and prayerful that he is completely innocent of the allegations that have been levied against him.
One respect I'll give to Stephen A. Smith, he didn't duck or dodge away from the situation, not saying that it's God's plan or anything like that, but I like when I see men stand, full thread and forward and face the situation. But this is not looking good for Shannon Sharpe at all. We know Andrew Cuomo resigned as New York governor in 2021 after a slew of women claimed that he had bedroom action with them as well with the grape juice. And he's also suing his accusers and that same attorney who's going towards, Shannon Sharpe. He's going emphatically at them as well, just like Jay-Z has sued the victims or alleged victims, and he sued this same attorney who's going after Shannon Sharpe. I mean, Jay-Z, Andrews, this is the same attorney who went after Diddy and represented over 36 accusers over Deshaun Watson. I mean, this guy is a bloodthirsty dude. It's kind of hard to go towards Shannon Sharpe this way. But I mean, your guy, Stephen A. Smith, had another response, but I'll do a separate video about that because it's elongated and a lot. I mean, even Fox 26 Houston reacted to this.
Tonight, Shannon Sharpe is on the offensive. He's vowing to sue his rape accuser and attorney, Tony Busby.
Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you
NFL advisor. Glad to have you all here. Does this, Mickey, at all surprise you to see an allegation? You've worked in the NFL for years. You've been an advisor. Does this surprise you with a former athlete as
in the public eye? Everything you do is scrutinized. You walk across the street and you get a jaywalking ticket, it makes national news. So being in that world, you have to be very vigilant about what you do and keep receipts on your own.
Then there's also text messages that Tony Busby released that showed that she stated to Shannon after the second instance where she's saying, I told you no means no. It doesn't matter if all the prior times I said yes, I was crying and I said no means no.
All right. You guys could see, man, it's like a nail biter right now. You got different sides of the spectrums where people think Shannon is guilty, where they think he's innocent. So this young woman has a lot of people riding for her, Gabby that is. And when I look at her, she looks young. She's Caucasian, so that helps her plight a whole lot, even if she's, not a victim at all. Beauty helps people, and especially who the beauty is. People will come and flock towards, her position to vindicate her regardless of how guilty and wrong she is. Now, what's making it look bad, a lot of people are talking about the likes of Tracy Ellis Ross, because let me explain to you guys why that's being brought up. People are saying Shannon Sharpe should have dated a woman his age or whatever, and all this. And I'm bringing up Tracy Ellis myself because it's like, wait a minute. She went on Michelle Obama's and her brother's podcast, Michelle's brother, that is, podcast, and she perfectly made an excuse on why she dates younger men, and she didn't face the same backlash.
Often I date younger men. And a lot of reasons, we've talked about this, that often I date younger men. And a lot of it is because...
Let's stop on that, folks.
Oh my God, we had a great dinner. We had a great dinner, by the way, where across the table, your husband goes, but why? And I said, well, maybe because I can.
Yes,
Often I date younger men. And a lot of reasons, we've talked about this, that often I date younger men.
I mean, she does jokes about it. She didn't get called out. Just like we seen Anthony Edwards, the mother of one of his child. This lady, Miss Howard, is going to be 40 years old if she didn't turn turned 40 already. And she also dated rapper Lil Baby when he was only 16 and she was 20 something and had a baby with him. So it's like women don't really get called out. In fact, I had girlfriends who are over 10 years, you know, some 15 years older than me, even the ex-wife. So it's like people make excuses for that behavior when it's women. And this is another thing that I noticed what Tracy did during that podcast with Michelle.
Just robust life. So it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous?
There's that.
There's that. But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks.
So she's foul for that. Like for Tracy, it's like men can't win because 1 minute we're promiscuous and we're dating younger women and we're wrong. So we accepted women calling us wrong for that. But then when we call out a woman being wrong for doing the same thing, we're toxic. We have this non-complicit view on how traditional relationships should be. So in other words, we're just toxic in general. So it's like a defamation. Not really, but more of misrepresenting what men really stand for and what we really think because we don't count in a woman's perspective. It is kind of not right. Look, all these things that Shannon Sharpe is going through, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm a fair guy. I don't go out my way to disrespect people. You know, I don't do the things that Shannon Sharpe is being alleged of. But at the same time, it's hard to make him be guilty when you see a lot of things involved that can potentially shows he is being set up. And at the same time, it's hard to say he's innocent when we're seeing damning proof like him trying to pay the said so person $10 million, even if it is to sweep this under the rug because he doesn't want it to hurt his contract. I would never give nobody that much money just to shut them up. I don't care what headache I go through. I'm one of them people who really believe my innocence is my innocence. I don't care how much I lose proclaiming my innocence. I can at least sleep well at night knowing I stood up for what's right. But some of these guys, they let these vultures go around them because they know they can get a potential reward such as a $10 million lawsuit. But she's seen something more lucrative. She's seen Shannon Sharpe breaking. She's seen him sweating, in other words. So her legal team and counsel said, no, we're getting 50 million out of him. And I think they might get more than that out of Shannon Sharpe if it reaches litigation such as a magistrate and even a potential jury. And I think he's cooked, man. Remember, I'm not saying if he's guilty or innocent. I'm telling you from the spectrums of what I see out here, who are the players involved and how the aesthetics of it is looking, then he will be found guilty. I hope not, because it's kind of messed up how men doesn't have a voice anymore out here. We get ridiculed. We get proclaimed guilty by said so groups of people with no proof at all. So I hope that man is vindicated. You know, I hope everything comes out right in a righteous way. Look, I'm your guy, DJ Bless One, the best one. Love your family. Love your kids, and definitely stay blessed.
Heart been broke so many times, I don't know what to believe. Mama say